Can you imagine a foreigner living in Croatia advocating for paying more tax? Of all the topics I've written about in the last 12 years or so, nothing has quite given so much negative energy back to me as the topic of accommodation tax. Let me start by saying I'm not a big fan of paying more tax. Croatians pay way too much tax, but I am a big advocate of paying fairer tax and for people to even the load. And so one of the really strange things about the taxation system in Croatia, which is really unfair to people in continental Croatia, is the tax on rental property. If you have a rental property, you want to rent it out, you pay a tax per bed every year of about 350 kuna, as it was, about 50 euros today. And you pay a bit of tax on top of that, equivalent to about 50 euros a bed. And so if you earn under the VAT threshold of, say, 30,000 euros, you in effect pay 2% tax. So you're getting more than 29,500 euros a year of income if you rent out for that time. For that, you can live very nicely in Croatia, and you never have to work or get a job or even pay tax and stuff. There are a lot of businesses that do very good rental stuff, and they have multiple rentals, and that's okay. But you also have a lot of people who, for the months of June to September, will move into their parents' apartment, sleep on the sofa or whatever, and then rent out their apartment. And they'll make very nice money. They'll do the cleaning, the booking. They work for 4 months a year managing the property, and they will get say 30,000 euros, and then they'll pay 2% tax, and that's it. And that's all fine, except those people are not actually doing jobs that could contribute to the economy. They're not paying any taxes. And when I pointed this out, I got a lot of hate. But if you look at the numbers supplied by the National Tourist Board, in 1990, there were 235,000 private beds in Croatia. In 2010, there were 400,000. And in 2018, there were 800,000. And at the same time, the number of hotel beds had gone down by 9%. So there are government incentives, there are loans in the banks where you can actually take out credit to get apartments. So the apartmentization of the coast is happening. Meanwhile, in somewhere like Vukovar, where there is no tourism and there are no jobs, the only option is for people to start their own businesses. If you have a guy in Split who moves into his mother's place for 4 months, gets 40,000 euros, pays 2% tax, spends the rest of the 8 months doing nothing, but having a lot of time to complain about how terrible Croatia is, versus the guy who owns his own place in Vukovar, who has to start his own business and take all the risks of that, work 12 months a year and pay all the taxes. It's not really fair. And so when I got into these debates with people, people were saying, "What are you doing, Paul? You're advocating more tax." And I'm saying, "No, I'm advocating fairer tax." And the one question that I said to them is, do you think the person in Split who is earning 30,000 euros 4 months a year should pay the same tax, more tax, or less tax than the guy in Vukovar who is working 12 months a year for the same amount of money? And nobody will say it should be more or it should be the same, because if we did that, it would really disrupt the whole system. But it really isn't fair, and I think we should talk about it.